Welcome to the Vols for Life podcast. Who's ready talking football?
I know I am, Tim. I love talking some balls.
Me too. And today we're going to talk about our linebackers, Bob. Last year we had a four-man rotation, most a heavy three, but we had a four-man rotation of Aaron Beasley, Jeremy Banks, Mitchell, and Salon Page. And three of those guys are gone. You know,
Yeah, but I think we're going to be all right there, Tim. You know, we lost mainly the main one we lost that hurt us was Banks
yeah,
mainly, and Mitchell played a lot too.
he did.
But the guys had some head issues. I think they was a little bit of head cases, had some issues in the locker room. Not sure about what they was doing off the field.
Yeah. I don't think the coaches are going to necessarily miss dealing with those two guys. And of course, I don't have no inside information myself, but I know all the chatter has been that they were not good examples in the locker room.
You could see some of the stuff for Banks on the field.
You good?
And then plus he got in trouble at one time. He got kicked off the team. If he wasn't a need, he would have been on this team, I don't think. Good ball player, though. I mean,
Well, we lost three of those guys, but the word is, Bob, we've got more. We're going to be deeper in the rotation this year, but they're so young.
love the talent there.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be okay. Honestly, I don't see a drop off. I really don't. I mean,
No, I don't.
our best linebacker was Aaron Beasley. He had a really quiet year. I mean, except for the Clemson game, he had made a couple of huge plays in the Clemson game. But
Got better and better.
he just done his job. I mean, he by far led us in tackles. I think it was 76 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. Had a pretty dang good year. I mean, really.
To share rotation as much as he did, yes, those were good numbers.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he outpaced, I think, the next guy by like 17, 18 tackles. Pretty decent difference. And he was by far our leading guy in tackles for loss at the
Yeah.
linebacker.
So he'll be cemented in as one of your starters.
He's one of you guys for sure.
For sure.
Keenan Peely, BYU transfer. I think he's probably your number 2 guy. And the main reason why they brought him in was to be a good example, to be a leader. And he's a good ball player. He's probably a starter. But to be a good ball player, I mean, to be a good leader for a lot of these really young guys. We've got a lot of young guys that's really talented, but do they know how to work? Do they need to be taught what it's like to be an SEC linebacker? And I think Peely, being a 2-time captain, BYU, was brought in for that reason.
Well, that says a ton right there. Not a one-time captain, a two-time captain, a married guy, older. I think he had to take a Mormon missionary trip, so he's got a little age on him. They brought him in for that purpose, and I've heard they've been actually pleasantly surprised by how quick and athletic he was.
Yeah. I mean, the guy was a captain as a sophomore. I mean, that don't happen very often. That tells you
No, it doesn't.
the guy is a leader and setting an example. So I think they really wanted him for that position, for to be a leader and to be a good. Obviously, he's a good ball player too.
But we play a whole lot of snaps on defense, unfortunately, with the pace of play we do, and not up to this point haven't been able to get people off the field on third down enough. There's a whole lot of snaps to go around.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. We got like you said, we played 4 guys, mainly 3, and we played like 6, I think, with Herring and Caleb Perry getting some snaps. But I think that's really where they want this rotation to be. I think they're wanting like a 5, 6 guy deep, and I really think you're going to see a lot more rotating there, especially on down, because Herring and Perry was freshmen last year. They really like them, but they was true freshmen.
Right. Well, Caleb Perry is a guy who's been described as a top 5 athlete on the team. Very raw last year. But, if he learns, he's going to be good. But the guy that really had some playing time last year of those 2 guys was Elijah Herring.
Yeah.
Looked very good at times. Will definitely be in the rotation this year. And Of course, we got his brother in also, who's a stud, Leo.
Yeah,
We're going to be real
he's
excited to
going to
see
play.
him.
He's the more talented too, I do believe. But Herring, I think they was surprised by how good he was when we got him.
Yes. So, that's probably your starting four, maybe to start the year. But the guy that breaks in is going to be the one guy who everyone's talking about, Aaron Carter, true freshman. We was in a big time recruiting battle with Alabama to get him, and all signs are pointing to this kid being ready to play day one.
Most talented, let's say this, most talented linebacker I think we've signed in a long time. I'm gonna say even more so than Henry Toto. The guy, he's just a very good athlete. Uh, some, I think it was one person said, can't remember who it was, that he was just a good athlete. Reminded him a lot of Javen Reed's Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
A very good linebacker. I know all fans remember him. Just a very good linebacker, good athlete. And they say he's very hardworking, smart.
Yeah, instinctual. He's got the feel. He knows when to drop into coverage, when to press the line. I also love this huddle film. He's always moving toward the line of scrimmage. If the play's going out to the side, he's not going just directly out. He's always moving toward it. He meets so many people at the line or behind the line of scrimmage. Just very natural. He was a running back commit for Memphis for a long time until he got some film on defense. They played him some linebacker his senior year. And as soon as the film got out, I mean, literally everybody was offering this kid.
It's crazy. Never seen nothing like it. I think he had like 2 or 3 games on film at linebacker, and they was like, "Oh my God, who is this guy?"
Pretty much the entire Southeastern Conference and other people was
you
automatically just like offer, and everybody's wanting him.
Love the linebackers that come from playing running back some. I think it's a natural thing. They know where that running back's going to go. They know it just helps them to understand what's going on the other side of the ball. I think it's really helped.
Yeah, but sometimes it takes a similar skill set. Sometimes you got to be, you got to love that contact and really get in there and just popping somebody.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a heck of a ball player, and I personally, and I've heard some other people, little whispers out there, he might break into that starting lineup as a true freshman.
They would not be shocked before the year's up.
I mean, Bama wanted this guy bad. I mean, they was lighting up his phone. They was just.
Well, the day he committed, I believe it was Saban was at his high school trying to get in. They wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, him and his position coach, I think it's former, maybe even coordinator. They was wiring him out. They wanted this guy bad. And rumor was at that point that they thought he could start for them as a freshman. That was the
word out
internet rumor out there
at the time.
So if he can start for them as a freshman, dang good chance he can start for us.
Yeah, I believe that's a safe bet. But he wasn't the only good pickup we had last year.
Love our linebacker class last year. Love it. I mean, you give me that type group every year with him, Aaron Carter, big time linebacker, Jeremiah T-Lander. The guy, I reckon he's very impressed people at spring practice. Look good.
Yeah, he's a lot thicker than what they thought when he come in. He's definitely lived in the weight room. One look at him, you can tell this is a kid that will slam you, and his film proves that. He's vicious when he hits somebody. He drives through them, man.
I watched him a lot spring game. The guy may love contact too much. I mean, he was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna hit somebody." I was watching him. And he's like, "I'm gonna hit somebody." He, somebody come up with lineman, come up to block him or something.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't hit him. He would hit them first. I mean, he took the fight to them. He has a little bit of a reckless abandon about him. Going to be exciting to watch that guy play. I really think. I mean, he's just a true freshman, but this guy's going to be really good linebacker for us down the road.
Yeah, and that brings us to Jalen Smith, who had the quietest spring But, and correct me if I'm wrong because I'm just going off by memory here. I believe he was the 5 or 6A Defensive Player of the Year in the state of Georgia.
I don't remember that for sure, but I remember him racking up a huge amount of tackles. I mean, the guy just was like 13, 14, 15 tackles a
Every
game.
game.
I mean, it was
Game every
unreal.
game. He was like, okay, let's turn it on, see how many tackles Smith had this week. But him and Thielander really wasn't the highest rated guys because, not athletically, but, they wasn't quite tall enough. They wasn't this, wasn't that. They got dinged for that, but they were just damn good football players.
What gives me a lot of hope for those guys, this staff targeted them very early on in the process.
Yes, they did.
They wanted them badly. So they obviously thought they was very underrated. Usually in recruiting, we've all seen it. That's, the junkies like us. We usually have a list of guys we really want. You got your guys who's the top 50 type players.
Yeah.
They're always going to be wanted by just about every single body. And then you have that group that the program has identified as, hey, these are guys we really want. They may be 4 stars, they may be 5s, they may be 3 stars.
Yeah. Well, they get them in early on a visit or something into a camp. They see them up close and personal, and they're not really looking at that star at that point. They saw what they needed to see with their own eyes, and they targeted Thielander very early on, and they targeted Smith pretty early also, and they never let off of them.
Yeah.
They recruited them like they were 4 or 5 stars.
They really did. I mean, and it's one of them things where these are not drop back guys. These are guys we hope is a plan B. We lost out on this guy and this guy, and these we're going to take these guys because we think they're pretty good. No, we took these guys over a lot of guys that was much higher rated. So I think we really wanted them, and we went after them hard. I think they're going to be great linebackers for us.
Yeah. All three very instinctual. They just have a knack for reading the plays and being aggressive and getting to it. So that's, to me, give me a guy like that over a guy that runs a 4.5, because these guys are not going to be, like super slow. You see it on their film; they can move, but that's they're 3 freshmen. They're all 3 got a lot to learn. Drop backs into the passing lanes, things of that nature. They've got issues yet. They're young.
They're young freshmen mostly. I mean, we're look at the youth at this linebacker in the linebacker room town with Herring, Carter, Thielander, Curry, Smith. And, I'm going to throw another guy out there that hardly anybody's heard of, and he might not be very good. I don't know. We'll see. But there's been some rumors out of a redshirt freshman, walk-on, Ben Bolton. He was a very good athlete as well. He's a guy who might sneak in there at some point and be a ball player for us.
You know what? I would say, without doubt, look for Ben Bolton on at least special teams this year.
So you're going to see him a lot. And I bet he makes some plays.
Yes, I'd heard some current players that just came down there, some freshmen came down and said that they were shocked by how athletic this kid was. He was one of the best athletes that they saw immediately. They just jumped off the page at him. And, I'm like, Ben, who?
Yeah, heard the guy.
Check him out. And, yeah, athletically, this kid's a stud. Don't know what happened to him in the recruiting process.
Yeah, I
know
know
I just
sure
a tweener or what. But watch for him on special teams at least. In fact, just watch a lot of these young guys on special teams this first season. Now, there's one returner that really hasn't played a lot, though, that we probably should mention, and that's Pat Garland. Last year, Bob, he was slated to get some pretty heavy in the linebacker rotation. Of course, everybody knows his brother that plays defensive tackle, Carrot Garland.
Mm-hmm.
And but Pack, looking good, was in the rotation, and then he got the injury bug, or not the bug, but he just got bit by an injury and missed an entire year.
Yeah, he was a good ball player for us. I thought they had some high hopes for him. I'm not sure if he's as talented as some guys ahead of him. I think that we got a lot more talented guys in front of him, but he's got the playing time and some experience. It's hard to figure out where he's going to be in and all that, but not a bad player. I mean, this linebacker room is just night and day different from where it was just a couple years ago. I mean, I thought we was going to have some linebacker coaches out there going to have to slip in there. We had
Bob,
walk-ons, not good walk-ons.
yeah.
I mean,
The,
walk-ons.
the first year that Coach Heupel was here in their spring ball, they did not have a single scholarship linebacker during spring practice that was healthy to practice. Not a single one. And it's been a sore spot that first year, getting better, a little bit better second year. We've got the guys in place now. Of course, they only play truly two linebackers. We'll have that Leo that drops into coverage or plays off the line of scrimmage every now and then. But we don't play, but two, so you don't have to have that many guys. But they've got a deep group now. They've got, maybe 6, 7, 8 guys over the next 2 years going to get a lot of playing time. I'm really excited about this group. Uh, but, like always, you're always looking to the next one, what's coming down the pike.
Oh, yeah. We got some young guys coming in. We've got a commitment from Jordan Burns right now, 4-star linebacker. He's a good ball player, I think.
Yeah, the funny thing you say, 4-star linebacker, and I'll be honest about it. I thought they just took his scholarship as and I'm talking out of my butt here, just in case they didn't get the top 2 guys they was in on as a fallback. That's not too bad if your 4-star is a fallback for you.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. So it seemed like that's kind of the impression I got. May have been wrong about that. His film looked really good, so I don't know that for sure. But the guys that you're talking about is they really liked with Edwin Spillman, the in-state guy. He's ranked pretty high, but his offer list looks better than his ranking. I believe they really wanted this guy. They're in a real battle currently, as brought the moment of this recording of this podcast.
With Ohio State?
Yeah, they want him badly. So, how Ohio State's, they're one of the elite programs. If you're battling people like that for guys,
they're probably a ball player.
Yeah.
But Evan Spillman's one. Tylen Singleton is another guy they've been targeting for a fairly long time. Out of Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
We're battling to pull him up out of the Bayou State. And I believe he's going to be back on campus, hopefully, at the end of the month for the picnic they're having. And maybe we can, put that one down on lock down after
I hope
that.
so. He's a guy who we think we're leaning for right now. But it's a tough battle right there. I mean, getting kids out of Louisiana has always been hard to do. I mean, that's probably the one state that seems to lock down their players better than any state that I've ever seen. A good ball player just don't usually leave the state of Louisiana if LSU wants them.
If LSU wants them, it's hard to get them out of there. But yeah, so Spillman and Singleton, I believe, the 2 guys they had targeted because they was really wanting to take 2 linebackers in this class. But they will take 3 if both those guys wants to come in.
I think so.
They took Burns, I believe. It's like, okay, we probably won't get both those guys. We got his commitment ready. We'll take it. But if these other 2 guys say, hey, we want in, they will take them.
Mm-hmm. I believe the next guy down probably is Chris Cole. And I think he, then again, not an insider here, just a junkie that reads every little piece of information, listens to every little piece of information out there. But I think he might be the next guy up and I think this is if we lose out on Spillman and Singleton. I don't think they take 4 linebackers.
No, I don't think there's anybody that'll take all 4. But if we were to miss out on one or both, Cole is a possibility. He's the teammate of
Lewis?
Yes, thank you. Lewis, our running back commitment. And
Peyton Lewis.
His recruiting rankings are a little varied, to say the least. Way down list on one. I think he's up around the top 50 player in the country on another list. So, a really good athlete, though. But we were slow, really, to push him very much. So, I'm guessing the staff either didn't feel that there was some reciprocity there, or they just was really focused in on Spillman and Singleton at that point.
I think they thought they was going to. I believe they thought they was the leader for Spillman and Single. I think that's why
They were slow.
slow. I think so. I mean, the guy's a good ball player. They just think they thought these two guys were higher on the board. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Bob. That's about all we've got on that. Just say, real quick recap. We're about to pop some people in this linebacker room.
Yeah, we are loaded with a lot of young guys. The future looks very bright for Tennessee football in general, but the linebacker position is it's just going to get better.
It's the best looking linebacker room we've had in quite some time.
Yeah, it goes back to the former days, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love this class. So watch them. I don't know how much you'll see this year. Promise you, next year our linebackers are going to be feared. By 20 in the 24 season, they will be
good point,
feared.
Tim. Good point. Next year, this coming year, we're going to have a really good linebackers. Next year, yeah, we're going to be
We're
stacked.
We're stacked. We're bringing them, and watch out. So on that note, go Big Orange. I'm ready to shut her down.
Oh yeah, like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for the next video we'll be putting out, which will be very soon as well. We're going to try to release a good amount so you guys can keep content flowing. Please, like I said, help us out there and hit that like and subscribe.
Yeah.
It helps us get these back out there going.
Yeah, leave a comment. So you think we'll be starting by the first of the year and the end of the year.
Oh yeah, definitely comment. We love talking ball. That's why we started this. We love talking Tennessee football. We love talking with other people. So get on there, say something. Tell us what you think. We'll hit back with you and see what you think, and we'll give our opinion back.
And
Whatnot.
you can make fun of my hair. I mean, I will cry, but no one will see me. So until then,
That's why I got rid of mine. I don't cry no more.
all right, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next episode.
Go Vols.